Hey guys, welcome to our first video. Today we're going to be debating which phone is better, an iPhone or an Android. I'm with my friend Logan right now, and I'm Arlo. Stick around to the end to see which one we decide is actually better. So Logan, which phone do you think is better?
Make sure you stick around to make sure that you get all the ideas of which phone you want.
Also, make sure to join the Discord in the description. Okay, let's get on with the video. So which one do you think's better?
Samsung. And I say Samsung instead of Android because really, the most popular phone that uses the Android system nowadays is Samsung, right?
Yeah, that's really
And
it.
some Android phones are related, but they're not all the same. So that's why I'm saying Samsung.
Okay, yeah. And I will say Samsung will be a better budget option if you can't afford like an iPhone or a better phone. Samsungs also typically have more RAM than iPhones, but I will say this is in my opinion, but I think the iOS operating system is a lot lighter.
Now you say that, but you look at it, it looks fresh, it looks smooth, but it's lacking in a lot, like customizability. Even the new phones, like the iPhone 14, only come with 4 to 6 gigabytes of RAM. I heard
Yeah, I also have to
that
agree.
6 gigabytes of RAM is that's barely anything.
True.
When phones nowadays, especially Samsung phones, have what 8 to 16, maybe even 24 gigabytes of RAM. I've seen some gaming phones that use the Android operating system, and they're cheaper than the iPhone 14.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The performance it's just so much better on the Android phones. They're more customizable. They're just.
I will add with the iPhone, since you can only download stuff from Apple's specific operating system. This is the one thing good about it. If you are not like very good at spotting viruses or bad websites, an iPhone will make it very, very hard for you to get a virus. And also, I will also say Samsungs have better displays or higher refresh rates. I think 120 hertz, right?
Yeah, 120 hertz, somewhere around there. But another thing, I feel like the iPhone and like the Apple products, they're flexes of how much money you're willing to waste, in my opinion. Because better performance you get from an Android, or like even a Samsung watch, you can get pretty good performance with the Samsung Watch 5, and with the new release of the Z Flip 5, it's better in a lot of ways than the iPhone 14 and the Z Flip 5 specs. The cameras and everything are better except for the selfie camera, but you don't have to use the selfie camera to take a selfie with the new back screen that they have on their phone. So I don't get the iPhone nowadays because people use those like a lot, like almost everybody has them, but if you look at it on paper and like the actual appearance and performance of it, the Samsung and I say some Android phones because some Android phones are terrible, but like the Samsung phones and everything that they do on it, I feel like it feels official, it feels smooth, it feels clean, it feels it's like an iPhone, but it's just so much freer. Like you're not limited to any options like the iPhone.
Also, one thing I would like to say, isn't it funny how Apple's in America, but it's the more locked down phone, and Samsung is in South Korea, but it's more locked down. It's less locked down.
Okay, dude. Okay.
Actually, no, never mind. Never mind. Scratch that. Because South Korea is the good place. But also, America's just like freedom and stuff. It's weird.
Bro. But they do have a lot of Samsung phones in America. But if you look at the worldwide global sales, Samsung sells around the world more than any other phone.
Yeah.
But in America, like just America, everybody has iPhones. And I get it. Like, you want to do some like weird propaganda thing where you have your phone and you make it to where they don't connect with other phones as well as they do connect with each other,
Yeah.
trying to get the other person to buy an iPhone. But like people think that Androids suck because of that, because most people have an iPhone in America. So people think Androids suck or Samsung sucks.
Yeah. Also,
But you dig in a little deeper and you find out that it's Apple is using a older version of texting
yeah.
than the actual, like the newer version of texting nowadays. But Apple's still stuck in like SMS messaging, and they haven't changed yet.
I really dislike that. But also, if you're like, this will make some people mad, but I would say that sometimes Apple phones can be a bit easier to figure out what to do, because like there's such a small amount of stuff that you can actually do. It's like easier to operate it than.
But
Yeah.
it's easy to operate, but whenever it comes down to the part, Samsungs aren't as like they're not that hard to operate.
Yeah, I'm just saying like
Number
if you're
two, the customization ability. Like you can unlock developer options, which is not a thing on a iPhone, I don't believe.
it is, but it's not like it is, but it's not like Android's one. I've used Androids, I've seen it. It's on Apple. The developer options are just like beta tests for the new operating system. On Android, the developer settings, like there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with it, and it's cool. So if you like,
on Android, they actually take a look at what the customers want. On iPhone, you get the same phone every year with small upgrades and small downgrades.
yeah, the last time I would say there was like an insane change in the iPhone was the iPhone 8 to the iPhone 10. That was a pretty crazy upgrade, but that was the last crazy update.
What happened to the iPhone 9?
Leave a like below if you want us to talk about what happened with the iPhone 9.
Like literally, they just went from iPhone 8 to iPhone 10, right?
Just like
It's just like what
Xboxes.
they did with Windows. They went from Windows 8 to Windows 10. Like,
Yeah, it's we
What?
might be able to make some conspiracy theories about this. Also, do Android phones have like the the emoji things where like it copies your face and then it
yeah, they do. They have what's it called? Bitmoji, I think.
oh okay.
You can use that, but they also have something else.
Hmm.
Let me find it real quick.
Also, yeah, iPhones used to be like super dominant. They used to be better than the Android phones or Samsung
Well, they are
phones.
still dominant for no reason. I don't get it, but like
They used to actually be better. Like the screen used to actually be better, but then
they used to be better, yeah, because people look at the old Samsung phones as budget phones. And
yeah, I hate when people do that. They'll be like comparing. Here's an iPhone 12 compared to a Samsung
like
1.
yeah, like a Samsung S5 or like a Samsung S10.
Yeah, like that's not a fair comparison.
That phone is what 5-6 years old now.
Yeah. But I will say I know we're talking about phones right now, but Macs are pretty good for productivity, but they don't have as much flexibility as Windows.
But they're not good for school either. Because if you go to a Best Buy, they'll recommend you a Windows laptop because MacBooks do not run the software as well and the software needed for college.
Yeah, but also the one good thing about Macs, and I'm pretty sure Linus Tech Tips made a video about this. He was talking about how Macs. He was like a lot of his employees were switching to Macs because the battery life was so much better than it is on Windows. Because Windows,
I get that. Like the battery life is a lot better. Because a normal Windows laptop battery life only lasts like what, 2 to 5 hours max?
Yeah, that's on a good one. Like, or that's on a Like that's on a PC with lower specs. That's not gaming, but it's still higher priced because of the battery. But if you want to get like a GPU, you're not gonna get good battery life at all. And Macs use ARM, which I'm pretty sure uses up a lot less power. Also, but I also will say the CPU in Android phones is a lot better than Apple Silicon.
So I want to say something. I've been watching YouTube Shorts lately, and lately I've been seeing a lot about the Samsung Revolution here.
I've seen that too.
And the Google Pixel Revolution. So there are so many advertisements and so many YouTube Shorts about how much Samsung is doing better than iPhone.
Yeah.
And people are like finally sticking up to the facts right now. And I was saying, it's about time that people actually look at what is true and what's fake. Like,
yeah,
iPhone cameras are actually a lot worse. Like, the 14 camera is, 30, 40 megapixels. The Samsung cameras, the Z Flip 5, I think, is somewhere around there. It's a little bit higher, I think, but the memory's higher. The Samsung Z Flip 5 has 8 gigabytes. The iPhone 14 has 6 gigabytes. The Z Flip 5 has a 40,000, I think, or 40,000 battery. The iPhone has a 36.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, what I've been noticing...
iPhone 14 is how much?
I use an iPhone 12 mini, so it's about 2 or 3 years old now. I will say the battery, it degrades fast. I've had it for since December 2021. 2021. So it's not even 2 years old yet. The battery, it's degraded. It's 75%. Max capacity.
The iPhone 14 is $70 or $800, right?
Yeah.
And my phone was like $200 more than this. But my phone is so much better than it as well. And speaking with the fact that it comes in 2 displays, one running 4K or 2K, I think, but one is also running 720p on the back display.
Yeah. I was thinking...
for 2 displays, I think it's pretty cool. But they say that the A15 Bionic chip is better for gaming on the Apple website. And they're still using 5G.
Yeah.
Which, I get it. It's like the new thing. But I'm still curious if they have 5G plus.
I think that's exclusively Android because I don't think Apple has that. Also, Apple is not good for gaming because I was trying to find a game to play the other day that I saw, and it was only on Android. I was like, seriously, Apple? And
like half the games are only on Android.
Yeah.
And another thing, it is whatchamacallit. They advertise it for gaming, but my $350 phone, like my $350 A52, I think that's how much it was. It outperformed a $700 iPhone.
Yeah, I remember we were playing Geometry Dash in the morning before school one time.
It outperformed it. Better FPS, better.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't scratchy at all. Yours was a little scratchy and lower on FPS, but mine did not, have a problem.
Yeah.
Fingerprint scanner, something that iPhone doesn't have, if you're looking for that.
To be fair, iPhone was the first one to get its fingerprint scanner, and then they've changed to Face ID.
Yeah, but, why'd they get rid of it? Because a Samsung phone now has Face ID. Not exactly that called, but it has a face scanner. It has a fingerprint scanner. It has PIN. It has... I don't get why they're taking this stuff out.
Also, the Android phones, they've managed to get a pinhole. And then the Apple phones, they have a huge notch, annoyingly.
A stylus. You get a stylus with your Samsung phone. But another thing, even my laptop has a fingerprint scanner.
Yeah.
I don't get this.
Also, this video has gone on for 15 minutes already, so I think we should go ahead and wrap it up with summarizing which phone would be better for you specifically. So you'll have
So
to.
if you're looking for something that's overpriced and kind of stupid to buy, in my opinion, go for an iPhone.
That's
You're trying to flex how much money you're willing to waste,
no.
in
Also,
my opinion.
for an iPhone, if you want to experience that's harder to get viruses on,
Yeah,
uh,
that too. You can.
I would go.
It's better for beginners.
It's better for people who don't really know how to use tech and stuff very easily. I would say
Know how
it's,
to use it safely.
yeah, safely. And also, Apple, since it's so locked down, like I'm pretty sure there's not a way at all to bypass parental controls on it. It's hard.
Actually, you can.
You can.
It might be hard, but
And on Android, it would probably be a lot easier. It'd be a lot easier for the reason that Android phones, you can change stuff on them and customize. But if you want a phone that's really customizable, more innovative, I would say.
now if you want a different phone, if you want something that's like more serious and more individual, like nobody else has this, you can go for the Fold or the Flip because barely anybody has that.
Yeah, those,
Everybody always thinks like, oh, the flagship phone is the best, but the Z Flip 5 and the Z Flip 4 I've had for the past 2 years
yeah.
has not done me wrong. They say that like the screen like breaks.
That was on the older ones. I would say.
Yeah, that was,
I met someone with an older Samsung Fold, the one that the Fold. It's it had a huge crack in the middle of the screen. The old one
now
did.
another thing is you can even play games on the back screen. So if you wanna, if you're into that weird stuff like me, got the weird way to win.
Okay.
Go for the Z Flip 5. You could go for the Z Fold 5 as well. The Z Fold 5 is just a brick that turned into a tablet. It's still pretty good. It's great in performance. 12 gigabytes of RAM, I think. Terabyte of storage max.
It's good. So I think we're about to wrap up this video because it's going on for a while. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and join the Discord in the description below.
In the comments and descriptions.
Bye.
Is it in the comments? I don't know. I'm stupid. Monkey management.
Out. Goodbye.